Before the main chunk of the video begins, this is my reaction to Wave 2 of the Mario Kart 8 DLC.
The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC. Rev up for these 8 courses.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, this is, ooh, look at this track.
Sky High Sunday.
This is Sky High Sunday. This was a track, this was one of the leaked tracks that got leaked a little while ago, but this has anti-gravity, which is surprising, actually. Okay. We were expecting this to be in Tour, which it still is, which it might be, but it's not in Tour yet, so this looks fun. I like the aesthetics of this. I like me some ice cream.
Calamari.
And that's Calamari Desert. Those item box on the train track. Mario Circuit 3, okay. That's a good choice. I'd take that over Mario Circuit 1. Mushroom Gorge. Yeah, I'll take that. I like Mushroom Gorge. Sydney Sprint I'm surprised by, but I'll take Sydney Sprint. I like Sydney Sprint. It's one of my favorites. Also, these tracks look really nice, by the way. They still have like that tour texture, but like, I'll take it. There's Waluigi Pinball, everybody's favorite. I mean, I don't mind Waluigi Pinball. I just kind of think it's overrated, but whatever. Snowland, that's a surprising choice. We have not. That's another. This is the first one we don't have in Tour. New York Minute, though. That's kind of nice. I mean, I guess it was kind of expected to come soon, but I kind of want London more, but I'll take New York. At least it's nice to get the easy one out of the way, I guess. When is it coming out? The cup selection actually looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. August 4th. Okay, that's just a week away? Yeah, a week away. So, that's good. Yeah. Hooray! We're getting DLC! Woohoo! Yeah, let's go! Well, I am very excited for this next wave. There's some good tracks, and from what I saw, we're gonna be racing on the train tracks of Calamari Desert. Let's go! But yeah, for now, enjoy the rest of the video and my very weird opinions on Mario Kart tracks, I guess. So, you might be wondering, what is the main point of today's video? Well, as some of you may know, Wave 1 of the Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass DLC has been out for quite some time now. And needless to say, I've been having a lot of fun with it. But with that being said, I think I should probably rank those tracks, should I? So that's what I'm here to do. This is my tier list ranking of the Wave 1 DLC tracks. A few things to clarify before we get into the video. I will not be comparing any of these tracks to the mainline Mario Kart tracks just yet. I wanted to wait until all of the DLC tracks come out before I compare these with the base game. I will also not be comparing these tracks to the future waves like the one we're just getting, so just keep that in mind as we go into this. But yeah, with that being said, let's dive on in. Wave 1 has 2 cups, the Golden Dash Cup and the Lucky Cat Cup. So let's start off with the Golden Dash Cups, Paris Promenade. Admittedly, in Mario Kart Tour, this was never one of my favorite city destinations, but after playing it in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I really like it a lot, actually. One of the things that might help with that is the new mechanic of the track changing routes each lap. Of course, in Paris's case, it's the 3rd lap where it routes you around to the side and then it'll take you backwards. And then you finish the race going in the opposite direction, which is really cool, not gonna lie. But even with that change aside, Paris is just a nice chill track to race on, gliding towards the Eiffel Tower, passing by a huge piranha plant, just drifting down the merry streets of Paris in general. It's a grand old time. It's also a track that plays really nicely on 200cc, I'll admit. It's pretty great. But yeah, I have definitely warmed up to Paris, and even though it's still probably not one of my favorite cities in general in Mario Kart, I really like this one in Wave 1. So because of that, Paris Promenade is going in the A tier. Next up is 3DS Toad Circuit, and I have mixed feelings about this one. On one hand, yes, it's a really fun circuit track that can have a lot of interesting races depending on how the player base is. But on the other hand, I kind of ask myself, why is it here? Now, I know many people's general complaints about this track are,
Oh, good night. The textures are terrible. They make me want to throw up and whatnot.
but that's not my issue. I'm a Mario Kart Tour player, I'm used to Mario Kart Tour's aesthetic, I am perfectly fine. And besides, it looks better than in Tour anyway. But this track, in my opinion, just doesn't fit with the rest of this wave. Like, I get having a simple track in there for all the beginner players to try to get their feet wet. But on the other hand, Tokyo Blur kinda accomplishes that fairly well in my opinion. Yes, it has a gimmick that is particularly new, but like, it's still simple, it's not that hard to learn. But yeah, why I like Toad Circuit, it's a bit of an oddball track out of the rest of the DLC, which are tracks that are really nice to look at and play and pretty varied. And I know I'm gonna tick off a few people with this, but I'm gonna put this in C tier. It's not a bad track, I'm not saying that, but compared to the rest of this wave, this just has to fall at the bottom somewhere, so here it is. Next up is N64 Choco Mountain, and this is a track that definitely surprised me when this specific remake came out. In Mario Kart Tour history, up until Choco Mountain's release, the new retros that were added were just kinda there. Like, they kinda look the same as they did originally. But when Choco Mountain came out, it definitely felt like the first one that felt like a Mario Kart 8 style remake, which is really great. And hey, the remake is way better than the original in my opinion, and in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's no exception. Gone are part of the wall and you can see an actual mountain, which thank goodness because it felt more like Choco Canyon than Choco Mountain. And from there you get to explore a nice cave followed by a glider section of death. And then you get the iconic rock and lake combo that we got in the original, and then finally making our way back to the start. Is this one of my favorite N64 tracks in general? Not really. But I do think this is still a really solid track for this wave. When I think of Mario Kart Tour, this is probably one of the retro tracks that I think of personally because it just stands out that much. I still prefer other tracks in this wave, so that's why I'm giving it the ranking that it is. But it's still a good track, so I'm putting it in the B tier. Next up is Wii Coconut Mall, everybody's fan favorite. And there's a good reason for it, it's an amazing track. I haven't been to Coconut Mall in a while, but replaying it here and in Mario Kart Tour to a lesser extent, it's just been a grand old time. I love the new aesthetic that's going for, having more warmer colors as opposed to like the brightness-ish of the original. And even though the trick system isn't as dramatic, still tricking on this track, it's great. And I would argue it's probably more fast-paced than the original. Of course, the one thing people complain about are the lack of Mii's and the lack of the cars actually moving. But my defense on the first one is, since when did Nintendo ever care about Mii's in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Like, last time I checked, they're nowhere to be seen, so that slight change doesn't bother me. And as for the cars not moving, I'll take it or leave it, honestly. Besides, the tour version has the cars move, so sorry. Actually, one thing while I was recording this is that the cars technically do move, but they change positions of where they are each time you race, which, in my opinion, that's kind of a fine alternative. Like, I don't mind it. It makes it so that one straightaway isn't samey. But yeah, I don't mind it as much as other people. But yeah, any complaints you might make just doesn't change the fact, in my opinion, that this is still a really fun track to race on. And because of that, I'm going to be putting Coconut Mall in the A tier for amazing. I I don't have a great segue for this, I'm sorry. Next up is the Lucky Cat Cup and Tours Tokyo Blur. If you need a simplification of a layout change every lap, Tokyo Blur is definitely that one for you. It's very simplistic because each lap takes you through a different version of Tokyo Blur from Mario Kart Tour. Lap 1 is Tokyo Blur 1, Lap 2 is Tokyo Blur 2, and Lap 3 is Tokyo Blur 3. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, Tokyo Blur is my least favorite of the city tracks because in Mario Kart Tour, each of the individual versions were just pretty simple and not fun to race on twice in a row. Tokyo Blur 4 comes close, but its problem is that it is way too short because it's only split up into a 1 lap, which I don't know why. It should have been 2 laps, it's not that long. But I'm happy with what we have here in Mario Kart 8, where each lap takes you through a different route, which I think that's a better alternative than if we gotten just one version and that was it. Is this still a simple track at its core? Admittedly, yeah, but I still have a soft spot for it. I still think Paris is better because it uses the layout in more interesting ways, but Tokyo Blur is still not a bad track, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. Next up is DS Shroom Ridge, a track that definitely surprised me on this revisit. Now, I liked DS Shroom Ridge in Mario Kart DS, but I can admit that it was just a little bit plain compared to the other tracks that DS has. But I can say for sure that playing it in Mario Kart 8 again has been a phenomenal time. I really love this track. Shroom Ridge just has a really fun windy design. Drifting around all these turns, meanwhile trying to dodge every car imaginable, is a fun time. I had the addition of the glider at the grass cut and the new wind pipe thingy on the highway. It's a grand old time. This is also one of those tracks that people kind of slander for its visuals, but I don't mind them here again because it actually looks kind of cute. I also like the addition of those cars with the little surfboard on them. It's a nice little addition that I'll definitely take from Toad's Turnpike. But yeah, at launch, I probably would have said that Toad's Turnpike was still better than Shroom Ridge. But after playing for a good few months now, I can definitely say the opposite. Shroom Ridge is definitely better than Toad's Turnpike now. And with all that being said, Shroom Ridge, you are going in the A tier. Next up is GBA Sky Garden, a track that some people kind of have mixed feelings on. In my opinion, Sky Garden's great. I really like this new remake. Yes, it's not as complicated and windy as the original, which to be fair, that's just most GBA tracks as a whole. But in this place, we get some nice elevation and some nice little beanstalks just hanging around. But yeah, I can definitely see why people think it's simplified because, admittedly, it kind of is a simple track to race on now. But hey, my pro is definitely the presentation, and I would definitely stand by that. But yeah, I definitely enjoy racing on this track, even if it's still simple, just so I can take in all the nice little visuals that it has. Also be scared for my life for the glider ramp at the very end and hope to not fall. I'm not super biased to Sky Garden, so that's why it's gonna rank a little bit lower. But it's still a fun track nonetheless, so you are going in the B tier. And last up is Ninja Hideaway, and I'm just gonna be blunt, I really love this track. In fact, it might be one of my top favorite tracks in Mario Kart 8, period now. It's just that good. When this track first came into Mario Kart Tour, it pretty much blew everybody's minds. And for many people, this is considered the best Nitro track in Mario Kart Tour right now. And in my opinion, that definitely carried over to 8. The main draw is the 2 floors that you can ride on. Do you want to dodge shurikens on the bottom floor? Or do you want to go on the top and try to get to the top part of the glider section via the platforms of said shurikens? And then there's said glider section followed by an epic rooftop section. Also, Ninja Shy Guys exist and I would definitely love on them. Also, the music is just amazing. I should probably say that about the rest of the tracks too. The music in this DLC is great and I can't wait to hear more. But yeah, there might be 2 people in the world who don't like this track, but personally, I and many people do, and with good reason. This is just a really skill-based track, and I really love it. And I know I might have a little bit of bias, but Ninja Hideaway, you are going in S tier. But yeah, here's the tier list of the Wave 1 tracks. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Let me know what you think about the wave in the comments. I'm very curious to see what you think of these tracks. And also let me know what you think about the new tracks start coming out. I'll talk about them later on when the tracks actually come out. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for them. Sky High Sunday definitely looks like a fun track to race on, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's the end of this video. So, until the next video stream, goodbye.